Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. In this video, we are diving into the world of Aztec's predictions, focusing on a prominent religious figure whose prophecies have been making waves across the continent. Let's break down the data and see what's really going on. Primate Ayodele, a Nigerian prophet, says Museveni will hand over the presidency to his son. Recently, Primate Ayodele captured headlines by declaring that Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni will hand over the presidency to his son. Given the current political climate in Uganda, this statement caught a lot of people's attention. However, as we look closer at his track record, a distinct pattern starts to emerge.
In Uganda, the president is planning to hand over to his son, who is a general. And when he hands over to his son, they will want to terminate his life because it's not well planned. The constitution of Uganda, they will tamper with it anytime there's going to be a kind of referendum to change the constitution to suit the president's wishes.
He previously said there will be revolutions in South Sudan, Uganda, Egypt, and Tunisia. This is Ayodele's first foray into regional forecasting. He previously stated that there would be revolutions across South Sudan, Uganda, Egypt, and Tunisia. While these regions have certainly experienced intense political friction and civil unrest, framing these predictable historical cycles purely as sudden divine intervention is a bit of a stretch.
The revolution in South Sudan, Uganda, Egypt, Tunisia, revolution.
He earlier said a certain president will die. So going back a bit further, the prophet made a broad prediction stating that a certain president would die in a world with nearly 200 countries, mainly led by hedging heads of state. Predicting that a certain leader will pass away is less of a spiritual revelation and more of a statistical inevitability.
A sitting president will die. A sitting president will die.
He previously predicted the tension between President of USA Donald Trump and Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Ayodele also weighed in on global geopolitics, predicting tension between US President Donald Trump and Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. On the surface, it looks like a bold claim, but anyone tracking international relations knows that alliance friction is a standard diplomatic reality, especially given the volatile political styles of both leaders and how Israel has been acting recklessly.
Netanyahu and Trump, they will fight too. I told you that America said on Thursday they will bomb Iran. I will bomb Iran. Immediately case fire under 3 hours, stop it. America will not try it. Iran is not just Nigeria or Ghana. If America does anything, Iran will retaliate 1 million times, because that war, God is behind that war. But then people does not understand. Who is that country in this world can drag America like that? They drag them. Trump is tired.
Now let's see the video in the clip of J.D. Vance going hard against Benjamin Netanyahu. To put the US dynamic into context, let's recall the video clip we looked at in our previous episode. We saw US Vice President J.D. Vance going hard against Benjamin Netanyahu, openly criticizing him. This shift isn't a supernatural phenomenon. It's a visible pragmatic pivot in American foreign policy and political alignment.
What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you've seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal, and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time.
He also said power will shift away from America to Arab country. So heading to his global outlook, Ayodele stated that power will eventually shift away from America to an Arab country. Again, if you look at the massive economic expansions, sovereign wealth funds, and growing diplomatic leverage of the Gulf states, you are looking at a classic microeconomic trend, not a hidden spiritual secret.
You see that in the next 7 years, power will get out of America. Yes, there will be a power, a renewal of power of another country. An Arab nation will be stronger in the world in terms of economy, in terms of technology. Wait for the time now.
Let's look at Muhoozi tweet that we shared in the previous video after the presidency about his father Museveni. Right now, I'm only a CDF, but one day soon I will be president of Uganda, and I will call both my uncle, President Kagame, and my big brother, President Tshisekedi, to resolve this issue. So let's bring it back to Uganda and look at the tweet from Muhoozi that we shared in a previous video, which he posted about the prophecy about his father. So Museveni explicitly wrote that statement that I already read for you, and we call this one something that somebody will say it's coming true. But now, when the son of the president, who also happens to be the chief of defense forces, is openly tweeting his presidential ambitions to the world, predicting that he will take over isn't a profound spiritual mystery. It is simply reading the room. Primate Ayodele is a perfect political analyst, not spiritual manifesto. Look, I have to admit, whether his predictions happen to come true or not, this is just political analysis. It is not a spiritual manifesto. There is no divine revelation required to see where these pieces will land. But credit where it's due, as much as I see that this is not a spiritual revelation, he is a perfect political analyst. He reads geopolitical trends, tracks state dynamics, and packages sharp political commentary as prophecy. He isn't channeling the divine. He's just incredibly good at reading the news. So, what do you think? Is it prophecy or just really good punditry? Let me know in the comments. See you next episode, only if you're subscribed.